Well, it looks like the Philadelphia 76ers are done with the James Harden experience. A few teams popped up as possible landing spots for James Harden, one being the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both said they are on board to bring in James Harden. James Harden is not the player that he once was, but he's still productive. So it'll be interesting to see what the Clippers, if they do make that move, what they're willing to give up. They just recently released Aaron Gordon, for financial situations. So he could have been potentially used for the trade. You don't want to give up too much if you're the Clippers, because then you'll be left with James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. Which really, it looks good on paper, but in the end, it's probably not going to work due to the health issues that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard has. And then look, it's going to be another Brooklyn Nets situation with James Harden, Kyrie, and Durant. Top heavy, didn't have nobody else. Those guys couldn't stay healthy, couldn't stay on the court together, and it just didn't work. So if you're the Clippers, you might want to, rethink that to avoid that situation. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will probably be on board to sign anybody at this point because they need help. So I don't know about that. Him going to the Clippers, like I said, it would look good on paper, take some good pictures and everything. But at the end of the day, I don't think that will work because of James Harden his production. He's not at the level. This is not the Houston Rocket James Harden, so he's taking a step back. So it wouldn't be a big three. You have to look at James Harden as not that player. He's just a key addition to what you have, so giving up a lot for him, you might want to rethink that. The Miami Heat came up as a potential spot, which is, interesting now that they lost Gabe Vincent. They lose Gabe Vincent, and words out they may lose Matt Strus as well. So you lose two of those guys. Gabe Vincent going to the Lakers. You lose two of those guys. Those guys were could have been trade bait too, because this will have to be a trade for James Harden. So you could have potentially used those two guys for trade bait to get James Harden, and then you still have your Victor Oladipos and your Tyler Heroes. So that might have worked, but losing those two guys now, you have to potentially put Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo in this James Harden deal, because like I said, it will have to be a trade, and the trade, the demands that everything that went up because of the Rudy Gobert situation. You see the compensation he got, and if you have any type of name or anything, man, players are going to demand. They're going to demand a high return. So you're going to have to be very cautious of what you're going to be willing to give up to get a guy like James Harden, who's not, like I said, who's not the James Harden of old. So Miami Heat, they have to be careful with that, because you don't want to be stuck with Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and James Harden. I mean, that doesn't even sound like that will get you out of the Eastern Conference, because Miami is just a grinding team. They made it on grind. Guys just put in their work. Nobody cared about being a superstar. Everybody was just going to do their job, contribute what they had, and it worked. So giving up too much for a guy like James Harden, like I said, in this state in his career, it wouldn't be wise for the Miami Heat. But you never know, man. Losing in the finals, teams get a little desperate, a little chippy. They want to make it back by all means. They may make some moves to, that they think will get them over the top. And the James Harden to the Heat may be something that they want to explore. Now, I don't think him going to the Rockets makes any sense unless he's just content with his career. You get a little older, and he said, hey, I went to a few teams. I went to Brooklyn, I went to Philly chasing a ring. It just didn't happen. So let me return back to Houston, where I had my success, and ride off into the sunset. Retire there and give them all I got. Because the Rockets are not contending no time soon for a championship. So I mean, you never know. A few draft picks, free agents, but as of right now, as they stand right now this year, I don't see that happening. So him going to the Rockets, like I said, if he's just done trying to compete, that'll make the most sense. But we'll have to see. It's, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what teams is going to be willing to give up the compensation to get a James Harden late in his career. So, and if I was a team, man, I wouldn't give up my young aspects for older Harden, man. It just wouldn't make any sense to me. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes and what teams are going to be willing to give up for this version of James Harden, who's still productive, but is just not on the level he once was. So what do you guys think is the best spot for James Harden? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.